What's good? What's going on, man? It's your boy B, and we back in this mud with another reaction video, man. Today we got my mans, Kevin McHale, NBA legends and players displaying how scary, good, prime Kevin McHale was, man. So we're gonna check this video out, man. Hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do, y'all already know what to do, man. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, turn the notifications on, all the good stuff. Helps out with the channel. Let's hop straight into it. Let's get it.
When you talk about who had the best post moves in NBA history, of course Hakeem Olajuwon and Tim Duncan are the first players that come to most people's minds. But there is one player that often gets overlooked and doesn't get the recognition he deserves.
I'm not gonna lie, Larry Bird was giving Hakeem Olajuwon buckets, man. I ain't gonna lie. I seen some clips of Larry Bird the video before last.
Talking about the greatest power forwards of all time, and his name is Kevin McHale. This guy was a havoc on offense and defense, and this was mainly because of his monster 8-foot wingspan. He shot 55% from the field for his entire career, and had a season where he averaged 26 points per game on 60% shooting from the field. He had so many moves in his bag that players were just in awe of what he would do next. There was no answer for him in the low post, and in fact, he got the nickname the Black Hole because he was so efficient under the rim and always in attack mode that his teammates will say once you give him the ball, do not expect it to get it back. And some will call him the torture chamber because players were left helpless when guarding him in the post. Kevin McHale can fit in any era because of his array of moves and footwork in the low post and his superb defense. There were actually players more fearful of Kevin McHale than Larry Bird because they knew Larry Bird would get his points. But if Kevin McHale
Stop the cap.
What? Oh, man. Y'all didn't hear what he just said? No way I'm believing that. No way I'm believing that.
Array of moves and footwork in the low post and his superb defense. There were actually players more fearful of Kevin McHale than Larry Bird because they knew Larry Bird would get his points. But if Kevin McHale got going,
let me know right now, is this true? Or is he just talking just to be talking? Is he just chatting right now? Is he just chatting right now? Come on, man. Come on, man. He got to be chatting right now.
They were in big trouble. So we're going to listen to NBA legends and players talk about how good prime Kevin McHale was. So enjoy the video, man.
Larry to McHale for two.
Talk about Olajuwon and all the other great ones. They're great. But Kevin was as good as anybody I've ever seen. He probably gave up more than anybody. He didn't demand it. He liked his shots.
Oh, that was a heck of a play.
And I think everybody, when you play in a really good team, everybody sacrifices for each other but it's not a sacrifice. It's just that if Robert had it going, which he did many nights, he just got the ball. If Robert and Larry had it going, I just knew I wasn't going to get as many shots. No big deal. You know, the next night might be my night. We got ours, and you know, our goal was that one more point than the other team.
We're holiday ready with fast and reliable delivery.
Kevin McHale, man. I need to go get some water real quick. I'm gonna let that play out. Let me get some water.
Not a sacrifice.
Oh, that was a heck of a play.
And I think everybody, when you play in a really good team, everybody sacrifices for each other but it's not a sacrifice. It's just that if Robert had it going, which he did many nights, he just got the ball. If Robert and Larry had it going, I just knew I wasn't going to get as many shots. No big deal. You know, the next night might be my night. We got ours, and you know, our goal was that one more point than the other team.
Who's Robert? Robert who? Robert who? Who's he referring to by Robert? Is that like a center or something? Is that the center?
Doc.
Check you out, man.
How you doing, man?
All right.
Good to see you. Everything good?
Straight up, man. I'm fine.
Good. Awesome. That was just yesterday. We were those young guys doing that, wasn't it?
Dr. J.
And this storied history of tremendous rivalry.
Kevin McHale tall, man.
Basketball takes on a new chapter. The Philadelphia 76ers versus the Boston Celtics.
He'd get out there, he'd have his wingspan. I said, I might as well just take a jump shot. He's all the way down here.
Julius blocked by McHale.
When you're talking about signature moves, Kevin McHale and the Dream Shake, Hakeem Olajuwon.
I think they're the two best. They're the two, and I played many years against both of those guys. And Kevin McHale, it got to the point where they were calling him a man of 1,000 moves. Could not guard him one-on-one on the box because he had such great footwork, and he did a great job of feeling the contact. And once he felt you, you were done. If the double team didn't come right away, forget about it. He had too much stuff on the box.
My personal nemesis is Kevin McHale because he's the best player I ever played against. You could not stop him.
Charles Barkley, Charles Barkley, you couldn't stop nobody, man. Who could Charles Barkley stop, man? Larry Bird giving him the business. Who Kevin McHale giving him the business. A whole bunch of I'm already knowing, man. Did we react to a video with Charles Barkley? I'm not even 100% sure. I don't know.
I've always said that you could not stop that guy. And on the other end, I had to use every ounce of energy I did to score on him. That guy, when I looked at, because we all look at the schedule, we're like, okay, I can have some fun that night. Better get a good night's sleep that night. I mean, we all say the same thing about different guys, but Kevin McHale is the best player I played against because he was unstoppable offensively, and he gave me.
Y'all see the points at the bottom?
Played again.
Kevin McHale, 4 wins, average 21 points, and 11 rebounds. This is the 1985 East Finals. Then we got Charles Barkley with 1 win, averaging 14 points. And they averaged the same amount of rebounds. So Charles Barkley got the bunnies then. He averaged the same amount of rebounds as McHale.
Because he was unstoppable offensively, and he gave me nightmares on defense.
First practice with Celtics, I thought, well, I'm going to kill this guy today. Because he came in late. Went in there about the first 2 or 3 times, he blocked my shot, and I thought, I'm going to give this guy a little bit more respect. He actually blocked my shot the first 2 times I went in there, and I thought, boy, this guy can play defense. Well, come to find out, he's a great defensive player, but he's a heck of a lot better scorer.
He's the type of guy that you find yourself watching him. What is he going to do next? Because like I said, he had so many moves around the basket, and then you got to realize Kevin McHale didn't believe in passing the ball back out once he got it. So he's doing these unbelievable moves over 2 or 3 people.
I don't think you can sum up in any amount of time what's like being a Celtic. I suppose just an immense pride, willingness to do whatever it takes to win, playing hurt, playing when you didn't feel like it, and playing for the best organization that there's ever been. I mean, it's just, Larry said it best. I think he said, if you didn't play for the Celtics, I'm not sure you ever played basketball.
I will tell you this. I hated Kevin McHale because he's the best player I ever played against. He's the one guy who was so much bigger than me with his long arms and his great moves. I had a difficult time guarding him. And then on the other end, he was so long. He was so long. It was tough for me to get my shot off if I had to face him up.
Well, you probably wanted Bird to guard you, didn't you?
Oh, Larry Bird didn't want any of this. Come on, brother. Hey, he's Larry Legend, but not on the defensive end.
You probably didn't want any piece of that off, with his offense, though.
I'd like to thank our sponsor.
Wow, that's crazy, man. Yeah, I didn't know McHale had. I keep calling him McHale. McHale had those type of moves like that though, like that up and under the smooth.
Brother, hey, he's Larry Legend, but not on the defensive end.
You probably didn't want any piece of that off, with his offense though.
He was great. But like I say, in my day, I mean, it was a challenge to play against him. I mean, nobody's gonna stop a great player.
Yeah.
But listen, I'd rather play against him than Kevin McHale because Kevin was just so much bigger than me with those long arms. And Kevin, to this day, other than Tim Duncan, had the best low post moves of any power forward to ever play the game.
That Kevin, I mean, we like.
Wow. Is that facts? Kevin McHale had the best post moves since Tim Duncan? Wow, that was some big words right there, man.
laugh about it now. I mean, some of the stuff he said on the floor, he just joked around half the time and then he ended up with 30 points and 20 rebounds or whatever. I mean, we were laughing. He would always ask me, on the first free throw, when are you trapping me? Because I know you are. And he would say, I just want to know so I can shoot it quicker. When I have to shoot it, I'm going to shoot it. I just want to know when. I mean, he was a fun-loving, great player, Kevin McHale was. And still, I think him and Elijah won. I don't know a third. As far as footwork, those two guys, as far as footwork, is as good as we'd ever see.
Was he about as good against the trap as it was?
Well, yeah, because he was shooting the ball. I mean, some guys are good because they'll pass and shoot, but he was just good. I mean, he had those long arms. He'd snuck them up under you. He was hard to guard, and it was funny that Atlanta-Boston little stretch we went on. I knew I could lock down Danny, so that wasn't a problem. And we were fearful of Bird and McHale, but we were really scared of McHale because we knew Bird was.
I tried finding clips of Danny. He's another one that played. I say he played. He was an all-around athlete. Played baseball, professional baseball for the Blue Jays. He also played a little football as well too. In school. Yeah, man. I couldn't really find no decent highlights. But if y'all still want, I seen some, but if y'all still want me to check them out, I got y'all. Just let me know in the comments. I got you. You should hit that sub button too while you at it. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't done so already. Cause who else over here reacting to these licks? You know what I'm saying? The sub button.
It's gonna be Bird, and if we felt it Dominique may outscore him, or you can match that. But McHale was the guy we couldn't get a handle on, and he knew it.
We had a love affair because we all loved the game. And one thing I always respected about Larry and Kevin, during their premium years, they got better every year they came back. Every year they was better. They didn't rely and live off what they did the past season. And I think that's one of the reasons why we have so much respect and admiration for one another, because we took the game serious. We didn't care whether you were at the top of the division or at the bottom. We were trying to rip you new. And that's the attitude you got to have night in and night out to be successful.
Both KG and Kevin, because two guys who were great in the low post, and obviously and one was a mentor to the other, McHale being to Garnett. Right. How prevalent will the low post game be in the next 5 years? We see all the stretch fours and we talk about it all the time, but here are two guys that were sitting down there. Obviously Diesel is one of them as well, but we're talking about guys who the skill was magnificent over the power. So,
bro, he's getting hella. How many blocks did Kevin McHale have?
What do you two guys think that's going to happen in the next 5 years?
When you think about the post being a big man, pounding, physical presence, and then all of a sudden around the 80s, you start to see, the Kevin McHales, the Jack Sigmas, the Charles Barkleys, Adrian Dantleys, guys that took the post and took a finesse kind of approach to it. And it kind of really birthed, myself, Chris Bosh, Rasheed Wallace, Chris Webber, even Dirk Nowitzki, guys Tim Duncan you can throw in there, that kind of shaped us to what we are. And what I mean by that is, before you had Wilt, Shaq, strong guys being grit, then you see another style of post, and it was really transformed by the Sigmas, the Adrian Dantleys, the Kevin McHales, using pump fakes from not just verticals but at angles, using the backboard, up and unders and stuff like that to where you get to my class, and we was more face-up shooters, being able to put the ball on the floor.
Four-man would have to be obviously Kevin McHale, the master of the inside, outside, however way you want the game. So,
I think it's dope that you got these. He's not really modern, but you know what I'm saying. Probably modern to me compared to Kevin McHale. They used to watch them growing up playing ball and stuff like that, and like he said, kind of molded them into their game, and they kind of got a play style like them. Who else? That said that they used to watch somebody. I can't remember, man. But yeah, but it's a lot of like these new players and stuff, like they watch the other people that was already in the league, and that's how they pretty much got their moves from. Like Kobe with MJ, even Ja. I did a video about Ja Morant. He said he got his moves from he was inspired by Westbrook. So I was like, wow, that's crazy. I never knew that.
Before he had the 56, did you look at him as a guy who could absolutely dominate a game, or was he a guy that was really good, but really you can't count on him to get you a 50-point ball game?
Well, I don't know about counting on him to get a 50-point game, but you knew he could get 30. And that's one of the things that I thought was really interesting about our team. You know, Cedric Maxwell had been playing a lot. Kevin obviously moved into that starting position. Kevin, with his length, with his footwork, and I mean, supreme confidence in his ability not only to knock down a 14, 15-footer, one dribble to a spot, one dribble to the rim, up and under. He had all of that game. And Larry had great confidence in him. I mean, Larry would specifically, when we ran the offense, if you threw it to Larry and it was, you know, Larry come off a pin down on Kevin, he wouldn't come off looking to shoot. That's, Brian, you know, that's an indication that if you got a guy that's in position to score, you throw him the ball. And that's what Larry did with him. So we knew he was capable of scoring.
Smart.
I didn't see the 56 points coming. I will not tell that tale.
Now, he is coming into his own right here. He is dominating night and night. I think he had 43 the next night. So the year before, he came off the bench. Now, do you feel like, oh, man, this guy's established as a Hall of Famer? It's like he's a starter. He's a big-time all-star player.
He's just jumping over
I knew he was
everybody.
going to be a big-time player for us. I didn't think there was any question about that. I'm not sure if I thought Hall of Fame, but I knew at the end of the day, Brian, you know, this is about guys you can count on to do what they do. You knew Kevin can score. Can he score? Can he score consistently? Can he score consistently in big games? And he started to show those kind of signs, and that's really a good thing for anybody. I mean, all of our teammates felt good about him. I have to again say, you know, playing when you've got a guy that you've got your number one player has confidence in, then you know you got a guy that could play. He would.
Who is this? I might have missed his name if he mentioned it already.
Larry would throw the ball to Robert because he knew how Robert needed the ball, just because all guys need the ball at some point. Kevin, he threw the ball because Kevin usually had a mismatch. With his long arms and the footwork, he had a mismatch somewhere and was able to get off a good shot. And that's what you have to do in the league. But no, you don't see Kevin's game anymore because guys they don't post up. But he was unique. He was unique in the post up because he wasn't a guy that put brute strength to try to get to position. He just kind of, with that length, just faced you, walked you down, and then he could get it off the block a couple dribbles and still be able to get himself in position to get a shot that you had a hard time challenging. You don't.
That post move is something crazy, man. Like, I'm just watching him like, this is crazy. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Faced you, walked you down, and then he could get it off the block a couple dribbles and.
It don't even look like a mismatch. And isn't this the guy? Just look like Detroit. Isn't this the guy that is that Detroit or the Knicks?
Still be able to get himself in.
The guy that was trying to don't like Larry Bird or something like that.
Position to get a shot that you had a hard time challenging. You don't see anybody in the game like that.
That's Detroit.
I think one of the reasons why Larry and Kevin and myself are Hall of Famers, I don't think it's so much our individual talents, is that we was on great teams. We played on great teams. You know, we had one hell of a run. And I think that's the main reason, in my opinion, why we in the Hall.
Momentous occasion to honor and adore the greatest, how'd you spell that, with a post or pivot? The greatest pivot player in the history of basketball.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and tell me, where do you rank Kevin McHale on the all-time power forward list? So make sure you like, share, subscribe, show love to the YG.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Like that's a great question. Me personally, I like, off of what they saying and other NBA legends saying, like he gotta be like number one, right? Then you got your KDs, you got who else pretty decent in the post, like big man wise, power forward. Tim Duncan, Dirk Nowitzki, but those are more so like kind of modern day. The older Y'all comment like some of the OGs in the game that were pretty good in the post. Let me know in the comments, man. But anyway, that's gonna do it for me, man. Big shout out to Young Gala, man. Y'all make sure y'all go over there, check him out, sub up to him as well, for dropping this banger video for us to check out, man. Appreciate the love and support. Y'all be sure to drop a like on the video. Hit that sub button on the way out. Check out one of the videos on the screen because it's definitely a banger. I would miss it if I was you, man. Catch y'all next video.